against me. You may do dumb things, but I'm not going to take care of you. You know, that's the thing. That's a lot of things people can't say, oh no, somebody's not going to do it. But the truth is that if you are free and prosperous, there's a lot of charitable giving, especially in this country, and it's that we undermine that process and has made it much difficult. And now we are equalizing society. We're equalizing people into poverty. Yes, they might have this bill eventually passed, and maybe there will be more equality in the sense of who's getting which insurance program. By the way, it's not really insurance. It's medical care passed out by the government. But believe me, the quality will go down. That will not work. But if you can't use force, and the government can't use force, and if you're responsible for everything that you do, it's an entirely different system. We're using endless force, and I think so. It is so noticeable. I see it in our country when you think about how many armed bureaucrats we have in telling us exactly what to do. But when we look at our foreign policy, we really can see armed force being used. And so many people being killed over this, and then we wonder why we have this perpetual problem. But I think the goal of all of us should be to seek the truth and work at it. This to me is the most important thing that we do, that we educate ourselves, find something to do, and if you're aware of what's really going on, you really don't have to search that far. There will be a job for us. People a lot of times will ask me, what do you think I should do? I agree with you, but tell me exactly what I want to do. I can't tell anybody what to do. But there's something that you could do. But I think the most important that we all do is get educated and understanding. And that's what I think I struggled for so long in trying to understand the economic policies. And that was, but I had to find that outside the universities. That was when I discovered the Fee Foundation under Leonard Read and discovered the Austrian Economist and then became much more aware. But today, this information is much more readily available. And if one does this and you're interested in it, believe me, there will be a job. There will be a job either helping in an organization, on college campuses, it's Young Americans for Liberty and a Campaign for Liberty and all these groups working in campaigns, becoming a candidate. I mean, there's a lot of different things. But to me, the most important thing is to set the goal, trying to figure out the plain truth of things and try to sort it out. I think this is what frustrates me the most in Washington, because when I listen to all that noise, all I can think of is demagoguery. They just demagogue these issues, and I don't know whether they believe this themselves, but some of the stuff can get pretty nasty. About, oh yeah, you want to kill this person, you don't believe in this market, you were going to let them die in the streets. You know, it's just it's a lot of grandstanding. But we have a lot to be thankful for. We have lived in the most free country in the world, in the history of the world. We have been blessed with a great amount of prosperity. Things are tough right now. They're probably going to get worse. But let me tell you, the ideas of liberty are alive and well. They're spreading, especially on the campuses of this country. They're being really a large number of people getting excited about this, and that is where the future is, which means that if we can just raise up one more generation in a couple of these years and get more people enthusiastic, we can go back. You know, we got into this mess by not following the Constitution. That's 99% of our problem. We can get there. Solve most of our problems if we just went back and respected the rule of law. But our country is much better off than, say, the Soviet system, because the Soviet system, when it collapsed, which again, miraculously collapsed, and we didn't have to fight them. I mean, they had 40,000 nuclear weapons, intercontinental missiles, and that's what disturbs me to no end, that we have to take on these third world nations and pretend it's in our national security interest. So but the Soviets didn't have good traditions. They never had a constitution like ours. They didn't have a true understanding of private property and contracts. I mean, we have just about forgotten a lot of that, but it's there. And I think that, you know, if we just wake up and decide that we cannot be dependent on the government is not going to take care of us because we are the government, and it's much better if we take care of ourselves. Thank you.